What is your dream career or business in the exercise profession? As I shared in the previous two series, there are massive amounts of opportunity, from being a personal trainer in a gym, being a personal trainer on a cruise ship, being a mobile personal trainer, being an exercise professional or personal trainer that specialises in strength and conditioning for sporting teams, specialises in rehabilitation, or specialises in people who want to lose weight, or for women or for men or for kids or the elderly. There are so many opportunities. You can be a personal trainer who works with other allied professionals in a rehabilitation or a chiropractic or a physiotherapy centre. You can build your own business around that as well. You can be a exercise professional who specialises in corporate wellness and fitness and corporate health, working in the corporate world, or you can be someone who specialises in working and helping your culture to be healthy, fit and strong. Again, massive opportunities, endless opportunities. You may want to go into your own business and own a personal training studio from home, have a commercial studio, a boutique gym, a large gym. You may want to run a retreat or have a camp where people come to you and you run special health programs. So there are massive amounts of opportunities, and this session I'm going to go through a lot of those opportunities, and so that you can believe, so you can achieve, I'm going to actually use examples of former Max graduates who are actually living the dream and they're actually doing it. So it's not a concept, it's not a dream, it's not an idea, it's your reality. Because if other people have done it, so can you. You just got to work out how. So this is not to impress you, but impress upon you the possibility and the probability, if you take action on your dreams, of what you can actually achieve. Because there are people in the world right now living the dream, doing exactly what you want to do. Not just one, but multiple, and many of them are also Max graduates who came to Max and they had ordinary jobs they didn't like or didn't enjoy, or had lives they didn't enjoy or didn't like, and now they're living a life doing what they love and for the people they want to help. So enjoy the examples of what I'm going to share with you, so that can help motivate you and inspire you that if they can do it, so can I. So what is it you want to do? Why do you want to do it? Where do you want to do it? When do you want to get it done by? And how are you going to do it? The how is the easy part when the why is big. So the what is, I want to be a personal trainer. The why is because I want to help a cause. I want to help kids, I want to help athletes, I want to help my culture, I want to help the elderly. So the why is really powerful. So the what is the thing, the why is the reason. So it's really important to focus on the reason, because when the why is big enough, working out the how, that gives you the motivation to work out the how. The why, then where? Is it going to be a face-to-face studio? Are you going to have a home studio? Are you going to be a mobile trainer? Are you going to be an online trainer? Are you going to take over the world with a franchise? So where are you going to deliver your passion? Because passion stands for pass I on, which means you deliver your purpose, deliver your solution, deliver your magic, deliver your values, you deliver your improvement in the world. So the where. So the what is what you want to do. The why, the most important, is the driving factor. That's the emotional driver. The where is how you're going to build that. Are you going to be online? Is it going to be a sole trader? Are you going to have a franchise? And the when. When do you want to get it done by? It's really important. Two wins. A, when you want to get it done by. And the most important when is when to start, which is right now. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time to plant it is today. The worst time is tomorrow. Because if you planted 20 years ago, it would already be grown. So you can't change the past. So the best time to do something is right now. The worst time is tomorrow. Actually, the best time was when you first thought of it. How much time has passed you by before your thought and your action? Well, the second best time is right now. The worst time is tomorrow, because if you do it tomorrow, then you're putting it off. And those things that you put off don't tend to take off. So the bigger the gap between the thought and the action, the less likely there's going to be action. So if you've got an idea now, start taking action on it. When? Not tomorrow, not Monday, not next week, not next year. Right, instantly now. Get the process, because that movement, that action will create that energy. Movement creates energy. Motion creates emotion. So don't wait for the emotion to happen to get motivated to do it. Do it, and that will motivate you. Because we've all got ideas. So when to start? Now. when you want your first client, when do you want your first studio, when you want your first gym, when do you want your first boot camp, when do you want your first franchise. They're all important future wins. So, but the motivator through all that will be always refreshing and always focusing on the why. Why am I doing this? If you want to give up, ask yourself, why did I start in the first place? And that will bring you back down to earth of the reasons, because you can get lost in this noisy world. So where to start? Well, I was one of the first trainers in Australia back in 1987, and obviously there wasn't a lot of the opportunities there are now with gyms and being subcontractors in gyms and studios. So where did I start? I just started being a mobile trainer. I just started where I could start. So you can become a mobile trainer, and whether you want to do that on a part-time basis or full-time basis is completely up to you. There are different types of businesses and careers. You can have a lifestyle career or a lifestyle business, which is really, what's really important is that it's complementary to the lifestyle you want to live, that complements your family time, your recreation time, your hobby time, your sports time, your chill out time. So that's a lifestyle business where money's not the driving factor. Your success is based on doing what I love, earning enough money to pay for the life that I live and enjoy it with my friends or family. Then you have what I call a enterprise business. And enterprise business are careers that, in the corporate world, you're climbing that corporate ladder up the levels of the corporation to become eventually the CEO or the managing director, or eventually owning your own enterprise and then franchising and taking over the world. So that's an enterprise business. So from a lifestyle, I always say you can be earning casually as easy as $500 a week as pocket money. So or $600 a week. So if you're training, say, 10 clients, half-hour sessions, that's only 3 hours a week. You're earning $600 a week as a bit of a lifestyle. It's good money, and I can increase that if I want to. So maybe 20 sessions a week, they'll give me $1,200 a week, and based on an average price of $60 a session. I can be really highly motivated. As I was when I was young, and I was doing over 40 sessions a week. Back then it was $50 a session, so I'm earning a couple $1,000s a week. So in that lifestyle sole trader, you can be earning anywhere between $500 to $3,000 up to $4,000 a week as a personal trainer. So now you're looking at lifestyle business and career as a trainer, earning anywhere between $25,000 a year, and they can be going up to $200,000 a year as a sole trainer. Because if you do the numbers on that, it's quite easy to achieve. For example, if I'm doing 50 sessions a week, half-hour sessions a week, and Rory, for example, one of the directors and coaches here at Max, she was doing 64 half-hour sessions a week. So 64 sessions a week, every single week she was booked out. So you can really go up there and we've had graduates like Dean Williams, who was doing consistently over 100 sessions a week. So obviously that's a very driven young individual who really wanted to do as much as he can with the time that he had. You may not want to use all your time training people, because that time may take time from your family or other areas in your life, whether it be your sport or recreation or chill out time or watch the football on the weekend. So that's completely up to you. But if you're doing, say, if you're doing 50 sessions a week at even $60 a session, that's $3,000 a week. That's $150,000 a year. Now that is far more than most corporate people live in the corporate world, or managers live in the corporate world. So it's very, very rewarding financially, as long as it's not taking happiness from your life. And that's why it's important to do what you love. Now I know you're not doing it for the money, but all dreams do have price tags. Your car costs money, your TV costs money, your house costs money, your schools, your kids' education costs money. Everything costs money. So if you're going to make money, you might as well make it doing what you love. I remember when I was young, I used to always go to the gym. I thought to myself, I'm always going to the gym, I might as well get paid to go. So then I became a trainer when I was only 17 years of age. So a lifestyle type business or career or sole trainer, you'll be earning anywhere up to, say, $200,000 a year. You can go into a lifestyle business. So that's a lifestyle career as maybe a sole trader, personal trainer. Then you can go into a lifestyle business. So the lifestyle business is more than, obviously, it's not dependent purely on you. You're going to build a small business, a lifestyle business that serves your purpose or your community, but you're still in very much complete control. Everything's still under your wing. So you may own a little personal training studio and start employing some personal trainers to work with you. You may own a small boutique fitness center. and that's going to service your life. You still have your time where you can manage your time around your family time and all those other areas, important areas of your life. For example, a lifestyle fitness centre owned by a couple of our graduates, Maddie and Sheridan, who own Fit Body, Fit Minds. They have this great little beautiful training centre. They have around about 200 members, and they look after them, and that serves their lifestyle. They know all the members' names, they have this great lifestyle, and now you're now going up to at least $500,000 turnover range. That's a lifestyle business. You still can control of everything directly, face to face. That's a lifestyle type fitness centre. Or you may have a lifestyle fitness gym or personal training studio, something like that, where you have trainers working for you, but you're still in control of everything. I mentioned Adam before, who was a surfer, but over time he grew his career. Now he has a great personal training studio with 6 to 10 personal trainers where he knows them and he controls it. Now you're looking at anywhere between $500,000 to $1 million business, but it's still a lifestyle business. It's small, it's contained, you control it, you're at the face of it all. Then you have the enterprise business, where now to get that big, you now have to have maybe different levels of management, which I hate that word management, but there's different levels of responsibility where you now put in a manager, and you have a gym supervisor, and you have a personal trainer leader, and you now have 20, 30, 40 personal trainers. You have multiple sites or franchising, and now you're going into the multi-million-dollar area. Now obviously with that becomes more complicated, more hassle in a different way. But you're not always at the face front of it all. You may own gyms where you've never even been to. I know I remember chatting to a great leader in the profession, a guy called Patch Evans. He owns Good Life over in Canada at the time when I was chatting to him, and he also owns City Fitness in New Zealand, and he said, I have gyms I've never even been to. So you're so far removed from the front line. That's what we call an enterprise business. Now you're going into the multi-million-dollar category. Where you choose in that is completely up to how you want to live your life and how big your purpose is and what's actually driving you. So let's go back to the sole trader, personal trainer. Now, an obvious one is you're a personal trainer, you're a mobile trainer, as I was when I first started. And I organically grew my career, which I'll share a bit more later, but I was a mobile trainer, so I'd hop in my car and I'd travel to other people's gyms, I'd travel to their homes, I'd travel to the park, I'd travel to the beach, I'd travel to the pool, I'd train them where they wanted to be trained. So obviously there's a time management challenge because you've got to travel, so that's time and a few added expenses of petrol and car service, but as long as you factor in all of that, you can have a great little business. And at that stage, when I first started, I was doing at least 30 sessions a week as a personal trainer, charging $50 a session and $1,500 a week, which is a lot more than what you get in a full-time wage when I first started as a trainer working in a gym. So you can be a mobile trainer. One of our graduates, Neil Fairley, he started as a mobile trainer. He was training at least 30 people a week. He was booked out because that was all he could take for the time that he had, and he also had a family to allocate time to, so he was a full-time booked out personal trainer being a mobile trainer. And that's still there because basically there's a lot of people who don't want to go to the gym and don't want to drive anywhere. They want you to come to their home, and a lot of the clients I had gyms in their homes, and if I didn't, I'd bring my little mobile gym with weights in the boot, and I'll bring the weights out and bring it into their home. So a mobile trainer is a real easy way to be a personal trainer with very little expenses. All you're doing is you just have to drive everywhere and train people where you want to train them. There are also trainers who want to work out of gyms, and that's perfectly fine. So you might become a full-time trainer or a casual trainer at a gym or personal training studio. And there's many opportunities for that as well. When I first started, I was a full-time fitness trainer in the gym called Lifestyle Gym. So I was employed full-time, 40-hour week with all the extra benefits attached to that as a full-time trainer. So I had a set wage, and I did all the job. I did the fitness testing, I did the training, did the group exercise. I was the man of all trades, and I do everything, and that's nice, secure. And obviously some people who want security they want consistency, they want certainty, then that's a great position for you where, okay, you don't have to worry about all the other moving parts. You just show up, deliver a great service, and you're okay from there. So a full-time fitness trainer in a gym, and there are gyms who do that. For example, G and Cleo of Olympia, they have full-time personal trainers. So they're employed full-time. No, I'm not sure, but I think their base salary to start with is $60,000 a year, and then you have all these bonuses going up. So you can earn very good money with potential career path there as well. And they have a good 10 full-time personal trainers, most of them are max graduates who are working for them. And then they got certainty, they're part of a team, they're part of that tribal mentality, they got that culture, they don't have to worry about advertising or marketing and getting clients or losing clients. They just got to love and look after their clients as a full-time trainer. Also, you have places like Vision Personal Training, which I shared before, is owned by Andrew and 64 Studios, and they have casual trainers. So you basically go there and they pay you, they get the clients for you, and all you have to do is come and deliver the session. They pay you per client with opportunities of a career path. So there's lots of opportunities there in even personal training studios where you can have that position as a personal trainer where someone else looks after getting the clients and the marketing, and obviously you want to chip in to help grow the business, but obviously your main purpose is to deliver the product, deliver the services the best you can to service the business so the business can grow. So you can become an employed personal trainer, fitness trainer in this profession, and that's probably more for someone who doesn't want all the added stresses and responsibilities of growing your own clientele or growing a business. There's also the position of being a contractor or a subcontractor at a gym. So a lot of gyms do that. You basically pay rent to have access to millions of dollars worth of equipment, if not hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars worth of equipment. You don't have to worry about any of that. You actually have all this equipment at your disposal, and you even have a database of members. They already have maybe 500, 1,000, 10,000 members. So you don't have to worry about finding prospects by going through the suspects. You have all these prospects. So the prospects are people who are already interested in fitness and want to exercise for a training goal. So you can tap in there, and now many times these gyms will give you processes where you give out complimentary training sessions, or they refer people to you to train. So that's what we call a subcontractor, and what you basically do is you pay a rent to work at that gym as a trainer. So you may pay $200 a week, $300 a week, and it varies. And many times they may give you so many months for free, and then that goes up to $50 a week, and they give the opportunity to build your clientele. And they may have 5 to 20 to 100 personal trainers working there, depending on how big the organisation is, and all you do is you pay your weekly amount, you get as many clients as you want, you charge what you want to charge, and sometimes different organisations will have set amounts that you can charge, but they're quite generous. It might be $60 a session, or $70 a session, or $80 a session. Let's go around the 60, because that's probably the average. It's not great, it's not bad, it's somewhere in the middle. So you can build up your clientele, you can build up your your personal training book, you could say, and just say you build it up to, just say 30 sessions a week, and that's on the lower scale for someone who wants more of a rural lifestyle, but 30 sessions a week, that's $1,800 a week that you're earning, and you may be paying $200 a week to rent. So out of the $1,800 a week, you give $200 to the gym, you keep $1,600, and you may want to spend, you might be spend about another $100 a week on just servicing and birthdays and stuff for your clients, because you want to look after them, right? So now you're quite easily clearing at least $1,500 a week, and that's only, if they're half-hour sessions, that's only 15 hours a week. So I don't know what you're going to do for the other 5 days. Maybe surf, hang out with the family, go to the football, play your sport, whatever it might be. But again, the beautiful thing with that is the more clients you train, the more profit you make, but the rent is capped at $200 or $300. So a lot of people say, $200, that's a lot of money. Well, $200 is a lot of money if you're only earning $200. You know, because you earn $200, pay $200, you're left with zero. Well, but however, I'd certainly believe that you want to go into this profession being the best, remember the second circle, the best personal trainer, exercise professional that you can be, where you can actually choose how many sessions you want according to how much money you want to earn and the life you want to live. So if you build that up to, say, 50 sessions a week at $60 a session, that's $3,000 a week, that's $150,000 a year. So $3,000 a week, you're paying $200 a week to rent, and you're left with $2,800 in your back pocket. So that subcontractor model is very much popular, and we have many graduates who've done that. Chentor, for example, he used to be an engineer, and he was earning he was saying his words is $2,000 to $3,000 a week doing personal training out of club physical. He was earning far more money than he was as an engineer. Another one of our graduates, Sheena Jane Martin, she used to be a lawyer, and obviously that wasn't making her happy, so she became a trainer at Les Mills. And again, her words, I was making, because she was quite high up in the law profession, in the corporation, and she says, I'm earning more than twice the amount of money as a trainer in half the amount of time doing what I absolutely love. Sarge, another one of our graduates who used to work in a factory, became the Australasian Personal Trainer of the Year, working as a subcontract personal trainer in one of the chains. So Sarge, I remember when he came through the program, lovely guy, loved to help people, passionate about fitness, overworking in the factory. He's also a trained engineer, but unfortunately wasn't recognised in New Zealand. So he became an exercise professional, and not only did he become an exercise professional, he became the best exercise professional and personal trainer in all of Australasia, winning the award for Personal Trainer of the Year, Australasia. So it goes to show that how successful you can become doing what you love, turning into a career, supporting your family, and helping the people that you want to help. So there's great opportunities as a subcontractor where you're basically running your own business, you're looking after your own clients, you're paying rent, but you also get all these other benefits of all the equipment and all the membership base and all the prospects to build your business, and then you can schedule your clients around the life that you want to live and the amount of money you'd like to earn. Being a successful part-time or full-time personal trainer, whether it be a mobile trainer or a trainer in a gym working for someone else, or a subcontractor in the gym, is fantastic. However, within the gym there's also other great opportunities that many of our graduates in the past have taken advantage of. For example, when I started as a part-time gym instructor or fitness trainer, then I was a full-time fitness instructor, fitness trainer, and then I progressed up there to become the exercise physiologist, the lead fitness tester in the gym, to the supervisor. So within an organisation you can go up what they call in the corporate world the corporate ladder. So you can maybe go into a supervisor's role or a manager's role. Many of our graduates have done that in the past, where they want to take on more responsibilities. They believe in the business or the gym they work with. They want to stay in under that umbrella, but want to progress up there. For example, one of our graduates, Maddie, she used to work in an office, in an accounting office as a administrator, and she became a trainer at Essential Personal Training, which is owned by one of our other graduates, Adam, who used to be the surfer I talked about before, but he grew his career into a business, into a very successful personal training studio. And Maddie sort of started off as a personal trainer, and before you know it, she was managing the entire studio with about 10 trainers working for her, and she was managing those trainers to be the best they can be. Another one of our graduates, Marchin, he started off as a personal trainer, but he very quickly went into management. He's that type of guy who likes to take on more responsibility, became a manager of the gym called One Gym, was really successful with that, and eventually went to another gym called Anytime Fitness, which is one of the chain gyms. A very successful chain, and he's a very successful manager now at Anytime Fitness, because he loves to take on more responsibility and take on, put more on his plate to make himself more valuable to the company. Another one of our graduates, Deb Hicks, she used to work in the corporate world in Singapore, became a trainer, came back to Tasmania, Devonport, became a trainer at Essential Personal Training. And she was a great trainer. Maddie, the manager there, moved on, and Deb soon took on that responsibility to become the manager of Essential Personal Trainer, because she's that management type of person and loves to take on more responsibility. She's since then moved on to now own her own business, her own personal training studios. Sam is another one of our very successful graduates who went to become personal training in a gym, but worked his way up to management, and now he's basically the operations manager of TomFit. So some people are really designed for in the trench training, and some people like to manage. And Sam is one of those guys who likes to take on responsibility. He's the gym manager at TomFit, which is now owned by one of our other graduates, Tommy, and he basically manages personal trainers, as managers of the gym, and manages the operations and the marketing overall to build a business which is in line with his own values, doing what he loves in a place that he loves, surrounded by people that he loves, including clients that he loves to help. So in the exercise profession, every gym needs a manager, every gym needs a supervisor. every gym needs people who want to take on more responsibility, and all great owners are looking for people to take on more responsibility, pay them more so they don't have to do that themselves. So if you want to be a trainer in a gym, or a sole trader, we call them, working for yourself, that's fantastic, or working for someone else, but you've also got those great opportunities to go into management position. One of our other graduates, Justin O'Neill, he's now the general manager. He looks after 5 gyms. So he started off as a trainer, who quickly went into management. When I first met him, he was going into that management of a gym, and now he's got 5 gyms that he looks after. And obviously in the Max program, these people focus more on the business and the management part of the program, so they can upskill themselves and make them more valuable to someone else's growing business. So there's lots of great opportunities within someone else's business if that's where you see your future. Other areas of personal training that you could move into, you could specialize in particular areas and focus on special groups that you want to train that are meaningful to you. For example, when I was younger, I started off as a fitness trainer in the gym, but the other passion I had was sport and strength training. So I combined the two to form my own business called Sports Elite. So it wasn't long before I moved out of being a full-time personal trainer or fitness trainer at the gym to own my own business training elite athletes. So I was to specialize in training elite athletes and get them strong and get them conditioned to achieve peak performance without injuring themselves. And I started off by training teams and going to the fields or where they train and out of other people's gyms. And eventually I developed a personal training studio where they could come to me. So that was like a double passion for me. I'm passionate about fitness, but I'm also passionate about sport. If I could put two together, then you have a double whammy of passion. One of our other graduates, Josh, he graduated with Max when he was only 17, and he used to be a premier or elite level hockey player, and he's always passionate about sport. He also wanted to go down that path to training elite athletes and eventually have his own elite sports conditioning centre. So when he did the program, we massaged and customised it that way, and he moved through, organically grew into a trainer, having his own little studio. Then he grew into a bigger studio, and now he's got quite a significantly sizable gym specialising in training elite athletes called Acton 3 Performance Athletes, where he looks after Olympic and international level athletes. So now he's living the dream of training elite athletes, doing what he absolutely loves, owning his own gym, being his own boss. So there's great opportunities if you want to go and train athletes. Another one that I go to, Mike, he owns his own business where he does more field training for elite athletes. So athletes come and if they want to develop speed and agility and plyometric power and all that stuff for their sport, they'll come to him, and he has a full-time business. That's all he does. And he goes to a paddock near a football field, and I've been out there numerous times seeing him in action. He's fantastic, and he gets all these football players and athletic track athletes and all sorts of sports come to him. So they ask him to make them faster for their sport through field conditioning. So that's his full-time business, doing field conditioning and speed and power and agility for elite athletes. So whatever you imagine, you can turn into reality over a process of application and working out how to do it. Another one of our graduates I mentioned before, Neil Fairley, who is a full-time mobile trainer, and he naturally grew into an opportunity where he's passionate about kids and sport because he used to be a top-level rugby union player. So over time he developed this great business called Pocket Rockets, and Pocket Rockets is where he trains kids between 2 to 5 years of age just before they go to school, and giving them the basic skills on coordination, ball hand, kicking, all those sporting skills you need to play different sports, because a lot of kids go to school and they haven't developed those eye-hand coordination or those body type movements for their sports. And then they go to school, they get left behind in the PE or the sporting activities. So he has a business called Pocket Rockets where he looks after over 300 kids out in the fields, and they have different programs they run, kicking and hitting and running and jumping and all sorts of stuff. So he has this great business called Pocket Rockets, training young kids in sport, preparation for school. So he's passionate about kids, he's passionate about fitness, he's passionate about sport. So he's got a triple passion in doing what he loves, specialising in kids and sport. Which brings me to another graduate, Ashley. She has a great business called Active Attitude, and she also loves training kids. So if your passion is kids and you are specialising in kids, there's lots of great opportunities. And Active Attitude, she loves kids, she loves gymnastics and sports aerobics and trampolining and dance and all those type of activities. So she has this great business where she looks after over 400 kids in her centre. She has actually her own centre, quite a large facility, training these kids in all those great sporting fitness activities. So she's doing what she loves. She's looking after the people that she loves to look after, and she has her own business in her own facility. Now, she started off as a mobile. She used to go to schools in a van and have all the equipment in the van and go and visit schools, bring all the equipment out and train school kids in fitness and movement and dance and all the gymnastics and sports aerobics. But now she has her own facility. So it's quite amazing how when you have an idea and how it can grow into a fully fledged enterprise. One of our former students, were two of them, Ed Curtin and Steve, they're also passionate about kids, and they developed a program called Fit Kids. And what they did is they put these, it's all field training, so what they did is they would go into a school and say, we'll run this program after school, in those hours between school finishes and when parents finish work, so there's that gap there. So instead of sending them to child minding centre or something like that, then they put these activities after school where kids are going and participate in all these field drills, doing the exercise and sporting movements and all these team activities and fun activities. So Fit Kids was so successful, it just grew and grew, and eventually got into hundreds of schools around Australia with various sponsors. So there's another great idea, implementing a program into schools and using the school system to help the kids and keep them fit, healthy and strong and happy. So if you're passionate about kids, then there's many ways that you can do that, depending on what you want to specialise in. Your specialisation, you may want to work with mums. You might be a mum and you feel that lots of other mums need help post having kids. They want to get their body back into shape, their life back into shape, and feel great about themselves again. So that could be your target market. That could be your specialty. One of our graduates, Jamie, she used to be a policewoman, and she set up this business called Fit Mums. It's now called MadFit, but she changed it over time, but it was really, really successful. It still is. She used to run it just down in the local park where I used to live, and it was outdoor training. So mums would come and they'd bring their kids along, and they would all train together, and Jamie would push them and motivate them and have a great time with them. And she's running these, what people call group exercise classes, some people call boot camps, not really boot camps, but it was more specialised, and they bring their kids with them as well. And in the winter they go into the local hall, the community hall, and they do exercise in there. If it's raining, they go into the community hall. So virtually no cost. Really is really low cost, and she got well over 100 mums as a membership on her Fit Mums business, and she would put on a certain number of group exercise classes a week to service to mums, and the mums would come together and they would help each other and the kids would bond. So it's all that community stuff as well, but a fully fledged a six-figure business, turning over lots and lots of mums and money and value to the community. Or you can go smaller scale. One of our graduates, Anza, she has a at-home studio, and she runs an at-home studio. That way she can work it around her life and her family and her kids, and her business is called Fit Strong Mums. So she does little boot camps, and she trains mums in groups of 4, and they come to her garage and she trains in groups of 4, so there's lots of connection and loving connection, and they do boot camps near the ocean. And she runs this great little profitable lifestyle business that fits into her family time and the kids' time, and she only trains certain people at certain hours. She doesn't train people at night because that's when she spends time with the family. So then she specialises in mums, but she also massages it around her life and how you want to live her life. That way it doesn't compromise the other important things in her life, like her family. You may want to specialise in training the elderly. For example, one of our graduates, Amber, she became a qualified trainer, and her passion was also to help the elderly. Now, she used to be an international level snow ski champion and competitor. It's quite amazing. She's gone from the elite level of sports and now she wants to work with the elderly. So she ran this great program. She's pretty much booked out. She had well over 30 clients she would be looking after, and she used to look after people who are 60, 70, 80 years of age, and she used to train them in the park. They come to the park, she'd bring in dumbbells because they don't need a lot of weight. They just need enough weight to live a good healthy life, develop the optimal strength to live a quality of life. So she was looking after over 30 clients a week, training them in the local park in Wanaka. And her special, that was really meaningful to her because she wanted to look after more the elderly population. One of our other graduates, Amazing, Ama as her name is, and she, a part of her business is she used to go and goes and visits retirement villages. So she does group exercise classes in retirement villages. She has a whole group of retirement villages she looks after. She also has a home studio herself. She's just recently now moved into a commercial studio, but a part of her program is she wanted to always look after the elderly who were just put into retirement villages and wasting away. She said, well, why should you waste away? You should be exercising. So she had this fantastic business called Amazing Fitness. Her name is Amazing Fitness, looking after the elderly in retirement village. And that's a growing population. That's a massively growing population, is the elderly population. We're living longer, but we're getting sicker earlier. And we're dying earlier because not dying physically, dying, but mentally, and your body's deteriorating away. So there's a great opportunity if you're passionate about the elderly and you want to help them maintain or improve their quality of life. How many people get injured? Yes, there's another little specialty area, injuries. A lot of people get injured and they need not just to get their physical care from their physiotherapist or their chiropractor or their doctor, but they need that sort of gap to be filled from that initial care from a physio or a chiropractor into full functional activity. So there's that great opportunity in the middle there to specialise in functional rehabilitation. One of our graduates who I mentioned before, Josh, who has acted in 3 performance athletes, training elite athletes, a part of his journey from a sole trainer to where he is now is he used to do personal training in a physiotherapy clinic, training people, not just the athletes, but also patients or people with injuries, because the physio would take them so far, then they would refer them on to the functional exercise professional to get them functionally strong for life. One of our other graduates, Jason Rope, he did the program, became a very successful personal trainer or an exercise professional while he was studying physiotherapy, and now he's a full-fledged physiotherapist. He's now doing his master's, he's probably finished it by now, and he works in a physiotherapy sports medicine clinic where they actually have a gym. So they integrate a lot of strength training and exercise rehabilitation as a part of the rehabilitation process. So there's opportunities to link in with their allied health professionals, helping them transition their patients from that initial acute treatment of the injury to build those bridges to full functional life, whether it be functional life for sport or for life or whatever it might be. So there's a great role there for an exercise professional to specialise in functional rehabilitation, as a lot of our graduates already have done. You may want to connect your services with allied health professionals such as physiotherapists and chiropractors and dietitians. I know when I set up my first studio, my second studio, right next to me I had a dietitian, and underneath me I had a medical centre. So I was surrounded by people with like-minded thinking who wanted to give health and well-being to the community. So we sort of bounce off each other and refer to each other. One of our graduates, Troy, he runs a health clinic called Velka Health, and his brother's a chiropractor, and so they developed this business, a centre called Velka Health, where in there they have obviously the personal training, but they also have chiropractors, they have physiotherapists, they have massage therapists, they have dietitians, and they have all these allied health professionals, the one-stop shop for solutions to get your health back with all the specialists in particular areas. So that could be a great idea, and obviously a lot of people are doing that now, including Troy and other graduates of ours such as Jason, who I mentioned before, who runs training out of a sports medicine and physiotherapy clinic as well. Not to mention, there's the corporate world, the business world, where people are spending their health to get their wealth, and then eventually going to have to spend their well through again their health. So there's another great market in corporate wellness or corporate health. And a lot of our graduates, some of our graduates at the moment are doing that very successfully. One of our graduates, Gagan, he's a full-time wellness coach, corporate wellness coach. He works full-time in an emerging company, and his role is just to train and make sure that the people in the business are healthy and productive, and that way he's going to reduce sick days and increase productivity. And he does that full-time. He started off as a sole personal trainer working in a gym called Tom Fit, who's owned by one of our graduates. He became very successful as a trainer. Then that transitioned into becoming a full-time corporate wellness coach. Another one of our graduates, Lauren Parsons, she runs her own business, and all she does is work in corporate health. So she's travels the world, or travels New Zealand. She's been obviously in corporate throughout the world, and she's also been invited to do a presentation on the TED Talk series, if you heard of that, which is really directed towards the corporate world. So she does that full time. She's a corporate wellness health coach to corporations. She does presentations and conferences and on the site work. So there's great opportunities there if your interest is in that corporate world. And I've dabbled a bit of that in my time, where I should put programs into the corporate world, and they were educational and exercise programs to get the business people, the management, the staff healthy, positive and productive. You may want to also combine some skill sets to create a specialisation of your own. For example, you may have a fight background, a boxing background, and a lot of our graduates who graduate at Max have professional boxers or Muay Thai boxers, or just have a passion for that. So your specialty is not just training people, but training people by using boxing and kickboxing and Muay Thai. And that's one of my backgrounds. Is a lot of people who train with me, I use pad work. One of our past graduates used to have a business called Padmasters. His name is Richard Padmasters. So all he did was pad work. So he used to train 40 people a week, over 40 sessions a week, and they come purely just for pad work, because he was brilliant at holding pads. And he based his whole business. He had a little commercial site, his own little space with all done up for him, and people would come and do one-on-one pad work and sometimes group pad work as well. Full-time position, doing boxing skills, pad work with fitness. Another graduate called Kaz, he became a very successful trainer in one of the gyms, and he used to do about 80 sessions a week, but 60 of those sessions, 80 sessions is quite amazing, isn't it? But 60 of those sessions a week was pad work, because he just had this passion for boxing. And he wasn't necessarily a professional boxer, but he just loved boxing, he loved pad work. So because that was his USP, unique selling proposition, that was his thing, that was his specialty, when people wanted to have someone to hold the pads really well, they would go to Kaz. So he was a full-time trainer, 80 sessions a week, 6 of them just using pad work. Another one of our graduates, Anthony, we call him Rocky, after the Rocky the boxer. He's a 3-time national amateur boxing champion, and the same thing, he implements fitness with boxing, and he trains a small pool of amateur boxers as well, but most of his business is the general population. He has this home business under his house, and people come and it's all set up like the boxing and the rounds and that bit, and he specialises in getting you fit using boxing, and he's a boxer and he's a boxing coach, and people feel like getting into shape, feeling like a boxer without being punched in the face. Whether it be Muay Thai, one of our graduates, Matt Webb, he works at Olympia. He used to work in a fish factory, but he was a great fighter, a Muay Thai fighter, became the Australian Muay Thai kickboxing champion, did the program, and now he specialises in training people to get fit, healthy and strong using Muay Thai and kickboxing techniques. And Olympia has a whole floor called the Olympia Fight Club, and he basically runs that with a couple of the trainers, and he's pretty well booked out as a one-on-one and group Muay Thai boxing fitness trainer. Eric, another one of our young lads who's also passionate about boxing, he's an amateur boxer, and he works at Acton 3 Performance Athletes with Josh, who I mentioned before, and he runs their boxing club, and he trains kids and adults in boxing, and that's now his full-time career, doing boxing classes, because he's passionate about fitness, he's passionate about boxing. Put them together, you've got a double passion, and there's going to be lots of people out there who love to just hit and kick stuff, whether it be to be fit, to get rid of stress, build confidence, and learn a little bit of self-defense along the way. So if your passion is fighting or kickboxing or boxing, one of our graduates, in this shows to show you never too old, Brownie Kingy, he's booked out as well as a boxing fitness coach. He also trained some fighters in the King of the Ring and professional fighters, but a lot of his business is general population. And he's 64 from memory when I did the interview with him. He's 64 years of age, fit, positive person, loves boxing, loves people, loves fitness, loves training, and he puts it all together. And now he has a full-time career training people to be fit, healthy and strong by using boxing and fitness training technique. Reggie is another one of our graduates who full-time for a career holds pads for people who want to get fit using fighting, boxing, kickboxing, and he also holds pads for professional and amateur fighters who actually compete. So Reggie's graduated, learned all about fitness and training, and his specialty, like others, is holding pads, and that's what he does. So he spends his life helping other people get fit, healthy, strong, while he's doing what he absolutely loves, which is pad holding and fighting. You also don't necessarily have to be a kickboxing, boxing, martial art champion or experienced fighter to become a very, very successful fitness, boxing and kickboxing coach. One of our graduates, Andrea, I'll call her Angel, she has a very successful boxing group exercise sessions that she runs in the local school hall, so the cost is very low, and all the mums come and some of the dads come and they put on their boxing gloves and they do a fantastic group boxing exercise session under Andrea's motivation and her guidance. So all you need to do is learn the basic skills of boxing and put that into a class format, and there's some fitness in there, and there's some music and some atmosphere, and get lots of people punching at the same time, and it builds its own atmosphere. I've been a guest instructor there a number of times, and it's absolutely amazing the atmosphere that you get in a little school hall with all the mums are there punching and de-stressing their lives while getting into shape and being great role models for their family and their kids. So Andrea runs that program a few times a week down at the local school hall where I used to live, and very, very successful with that, been running around for many years. And why not you? If you love to get into shape doing boxing, why don't you become a boxing fitness coach and help other people do it while you get into shape yourself? So you may have other skills or other sporting backgrounds or activity backgrounds you want to combine with fitness. So you may want to combine, you might love yoga and you combine yoga with fitness. One of our graduates, Ellen, who's a bit of a yoga guru, she did the program, learned about fitness, she loves yoga, and she now travels the world with her fitness and yoga skills, teaching yoga through some of these top level yoga clinics and camps and retreats and stuff like that. So she's really, really in need around the world, and she travels the world implementing yoga and using her fitness skills as well. It might be you may have a Pilates background or some other background, pole dancing, bar classes. We have graduates, Christine, she does bar classes and she also has fitness. So she puts the two together to create her own little business doing bar classes and fitness, and that's going to be her unique things that makes her stand out, makes her specialise, and gives her a unique, what we call unique selling proposition. You may want to combine fitness with a current business that you have. For example, one of our someone I've been mentoring for many, many years is Carl Van Roon, who runs Van Roon Martial Arts, and he runs fitness programs in his class as well. So he has all the fighting programs, but he also has stuff which is just fitness and strength training. Greg Program, one of our graduates, he used to be a PTI in the army, and he loves jiu-jitsu. So he always wanted to have his own BJJ training centre in South Australia. He now has his own training centre, a BJJ school, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu school, and he's added into a little fitness area, a little gym area, where he can combine the martial art, jiu-jitsu, and do fitness training as well. So you may want to add fitness into a current sport or activity or form of exercise that combine the two together, that complement each other to add more service to your current customers in your current business that you already have. Another big area is a lot of people who go into fitness and training want to compete in bodybuilding contests, body shaping contests, figure contests, things like that. So there's a great area that you may want to specialise in people who prepare for their first body competition. I know G and Cleo and Olympia, one of their parts of their transition in their career, they set up what they call the Olympia Pro Team. And what they used to do is you join up as a membership, and they would guide you and coach you to your first, second, third, fourth body shaping contests or figure contests, whatever it might be. So that could be your specialty. And that grew up into a fully fledged business. They had over 200 members they were looking after. They built this fantastic culture, and they ended up selling it to a couple of other graduates of ours, Izzy and Josh, who now have taken it to another level, and they've customized it. And all they do, Izzy and Josh, their full-time position is they look after people in training and nutrition and guidance and design of their bikinis and their outfits and the spray tanning, the presentation and the posing and all that. Basically, they do the whole thing for you, because if you've never done it before, it's great to join a business that will take you from the start right to on stage where you're looking fantastic, getting the professional photos done. So they run what they call the Pro Team. We've had graduates in the past. I mentioned Sheena Jane, who is a very successful personal trainer in Les Mills, who she used to be a lawyer, but her thing was the competitions, the figure competitions. So she ended up being a 2-time Miss Olympia competitor over the IFBB over in America. She lived in the US for a while, and she used to also train people and prepared them for their bodybuilding or body shaping or their figure, whatever it might be, competitions. And that in itself is a whole new area of specialization within the sporting field for people who want to be in great shape, whether it be training for your first comp for as a one-off, as a bucket list type of thing, or if you want to train them to go to the next level, become a national champion, international champion, a professional, whatever it might be. Your specialty might be running. Other things that people want to do is fun runs, or I want to do a marathon, or whatever it might be. At the moment, I'm training a couple people for marathon as well as their first bodybuilding contest, because that's one of the bucket list things that people want to do. So one of our graduates, Jamie Stevenson, she actually started out as having a little personal training studio, but she loves running. She's run many marathons, just loves running. She just runs everywhere. She did the big Sahara 200-kilometer run, or whatever it might be. I don't quote me on the figures, but it's one of those hard runs, those Everest type runs that you do. But she just loves running, so she developed a business called Running NZ. And it was an online business, and she basically was setting up people up for their first fun run or their first marathon or half marathon. Because if they say, I want to do a marathon, but where do you start? What do I do? How do I train? How much do I run? When do I run? What types of shoes should I get? What should I eat? All of those things are all these unknowns. You want the result, but you don't know how to get that. So she actually started getting lots and lots of business around the world on the online business. So much so that she closed down her face-to-face business, her little personal training studio, which is connected to a chiropractic clinic, and she ran this online business, and all she basically did was design running programs for people around the world. So she's passionate about running, and that gave her the freedom also to be able to travel, because her business is online and not be connected to, she can go and do her own runs while looking at other people's her clients' running programs. So your specialty could be running. You might be a sprinter. You want to specialise in training people in sprinting, like Mike, who I mentioned before, who trains elite athletes in sprinting. Jamie, it's more distance running, and that's her specialty. So there's so many different specialties and niches in the exercise profession that you can put yourself. But what's really important, if you put yourself there, that is what you're really passionate about, and that's what you can become the best at it, and then you can actually turn it into a profitable enterprise. You may also be a personal trainer who wants to specialise in weight loss. I know in my earlier career I had a business called Gut Busters, and Gut Busters was a men's health program, which is basically was to bust the gut for men. So we used to run these programs where only men came. We had groups of about 20. I put thousands of people through the program, and it was targeted towards men's health and men losing weight, and they could lose a gut while still having a beer. So your area of interest, your passion might be specialising in people who want to lose weight. For example, one of our graduates, John, he used to, he does now, he's been a very successful trainer in the gym, but now he runs a program for very overweight women. And John's, I call him Big John because he's got a big personality, he's a great guy, and he looks after women who wants to lose weight in a comfortable environment. And John looks after them. He's a very nurturing and caring gentleman. One of our earlier graduates, she had a studio where she only specialised in training overweight people, because herself, she had been on her own journey of weight loss, and now she wanted to help others lose weight and then they're going to understand and connect with her because she's been where they are, and she's still obviously on that journey, but she's fit, healthy, strong, with a positive attitude, and she doesn't let her weight loss challenge get in the way of wanting to live the dream that she has. Now she runs her own studio, helping others lose weight as well. If you want to see the world, what a great way to see it, by cruising the world on a cruise ship as a personal trainer. So many of our graduates for many decades have cruised the world as personal trainers on cruise ships. I remember one of our early graduates came back from many years of cruising, came back and bought a house cash because he saved so much money on the cruise ship, making so much money, and it's also tax free, that he had enough money to just pay for the house outright to set himself up. One of our early graduates, Bronwyn, she came to us when she was only young at 17, and she spent many years cruising the world. So she, at a young age, she got to see the world, doing what she loved, and also saving money. Jesse, also, when he came through the college, he was only 17 when he started, and he spent the first part of his career cruising the world, became one of the best personal trainers in the Steiner company, which provides the services of personal training on cruise ships. And he went on to back to building his own businesses on land, online, and all sorts of stuff, which I've talked about before. So yeah, there's great opportunities to go cruising the world. Milos, one of our graduates, who originally from the Czech Republic, came to New Zealand, got graduated, went to London, did the Steiner cruise training, and he spent his time cruising in the early part of his career, loving every moment of it, getting lots of great experience while actually seeing the world. So if your goal is to see the world, doing what you love, then being a personal trainer on a cruise ship could be a fantastic option, and the money is tax-free. You may be the outdoor type and love to train groups, and there's another great option where you can train people in parks, you can train them on beaches, in the bushwalking, all sorts of great stuff there. So there's lots of opportunities in that space, because not everyone wants to go to the gym full of mirrors and people looking at them. Not everyone wants to go to a studio. Some people are just outdoor type of people. And there's some people also, like yourself, who may want to, you love to be in groups. So one of our graduates, Steve, who owns Barefit group exercise classes. Last time I spoke to him, he was turning over $180,000 a year, and he just does group exercise classes, and he runs them every week. He has his set times, and people join up on a membership. And he used to work in the corporate world, and he just got sick of being behind a desk in front of a computer indoors, and he wanted to be outdoors. He's a real personality, and he likes to connect with people. So he ran this. He started with outdoor group classes. Now he has his full-time business, doing six figures in finances, training group people. I mentioned Jamie before, who owns Fit Mums, now Mad Fit, and she trains mums in the local park, has over 100 members. Her target market is mums. Steve has a bit more of a corporate type feel to it, but gets the mums and that, but more business people go to it, where Jamie tends to attract more the mums. That's why I started as Fit Mums into Mad Fit, and she does group exercise classes outside and uses the local community hall. So there's lots of great opportunities. One of our graduates, she likes the great outdoors. She takes her clients bushwalking, so she takes them up into hinterland, going into excursions and all sorts of stuff. One of our graduates, Debbie, who I mentioned, Deb, she used to be in the corporate world. She worked as a trainer, an essential personal trainer, then she progressed into becoming the manager. Then she moved on to have her own space, her own commercial personal training studio, and she also developed a running club. So her running club is pretty full because she loves to run. So people join her not just for the personal training in the commercial studio, but she also has a running club that she runs as well. So you might do outdoor running clubs, you might do outdoor boot camps, you might do outdoor bushwalks. One of our students is now working on a principle to take people in the outdoors, so all their training is done while they're trekking through the mountains, doing training and so on. So that has a certainly different feel and a different element to it that some people will say they'll love that. And if you love that, there's going to be other people who love that and they want to do business with you and come and join your business, an outdoor group exercise business. One of the things I found when I was a trainer out of other people's gyms, or I was going to their sporting fields or going to the homes, I didn't have control of the space, I didn't have control of the environment to build a culture that's going to be conducive to the values of myself and my business. So the next step from there was to move into my own facility. So you may want to take control of the entire area, so you can put your own pictures on the wall, play your own music, have the right carpet, have your own equipment, not be interrupted, have that real personal touch that private studio. Now, there are many ways you can do that. A good starting point might be you want to start with a at-home studio. That way there's no rent and it's very, very convenient. It's just right in your own home. Now that might be half a garage, a full garage, it might be a room. You may actually custom make a room or an addition to your home to turn it into a at-home studio where it's private, it's very personal, and you can control the complete experience that your clients have when they come to you. So one of the things I did when I was progressing through my career, I opened up a home studio in Nerang, not a home studio, a commercial studio in Nerang on the Gold Coast where I was to pay rent. I moved that into a new site above the Miami Medical Practice, so it's very clinical, very health orientated, very medical. And so there was doctors underneath me, and I had a personal training studio up top next to a dietitian. So I surrounded myself with the perception they wanted people to have of me, being I'm a professional, I'm a health professional, I'm linked to allied health professionals, and therefore there's going to build trust, and I'm going to take a very scientific approach to training. But you may want to do that from home to start with, which is very, very convenient and a great starting point. And we have many graduates who have very, very successful at-home studios. Renee, one of my graduates, she graduated when she was only 17, she started working in gyms, and then over time she wanted to control her own space, and she set up PowerFit, an at-home studio where she trained. She specialised more in mums, or not mums, women, corporate women and mums, and she used to train over 40 women a week. Plus she was doing bar classes, doing a group of bar classes with 20 members. So from home she was earning $2,000 to $3,000 a week in the convenience of your own home, and that fitted into her lifestyle with her. She has a young daughter, and that fitted beautifully. Now she's since moved on from there, and now she's gone into a commercial site in the local area, combined with a juice bar, because she's a smoothie bar, because she's passionate about fitness, and she's passionate about helping women, and she's passionate about smoothies, being a smoothie advocate or evangelist herself. So now she's combined them all up. But she started obviously working in gyms, using other people's facilities and paying a rent, and then she developed her own home studio. Another one of our graduates, Amanda, she had a home studio. She's also doing group exercise classes in community halls, because that's what she loved to do, but she ran her own studio from home, small group training as well as one-on-one training. I'm amazing. She has a home studio. Now she's moved into a commercial site because she outgrew that space and wanted to take it to the next level for her. Now you may be very comfortable with staying in your home studio, like Anza, who owns Fit Strong Mums, and she has her own studio in her garage, and she does boot camps in her backyard, which is linked onto the ocean. So it's really, really convenient. It's really ocean breezes, it's in the homey state, she's done it all up, and it fits into her lifestyle where she can be connected to her family, and she can train who she wants, when she wants, and charge how much she wants. So at that home studio, very convenient, can be very, very profitable. If you're training, say, 30, 40 people a week at $60 a session, you just did the numbers, you're earning a couple of grand a week from home, doing what you love, and as soon as your clients finish, you go straight back into the kitchen to your family, do what you have to do. Now I've had commercial studios and I've had at-home studios, so both have their advantages. Commercial is a bit more inconvenient because you've got to travel there and to pay the rent, but home is very, very, very convenient. So that might be what you might to do to start with, or that could be your finish line too. That's how you want to live your life, which is fantastic. Now you may want to go to the next level where you have a commercial studio. So commercial studio is where you lease a space. Now at home you only need a small room because you only train one-on-one with people. You don't need much equipment either. It's very inexpensive. Actually, one of my graduates who I mention a lot is a girl called Kerry. I started training her in Mount Isa actually as a trainer in a gym up there with the Fitness Factory, by good friends of mine, and she came back down to Brisbane and she started her at-home studio. Now Kerry's a very passionate lady, she's really fit, she's mature, she's in her 40s, and she ran a very successful at-home studio. Now she used to train 70 sessions a week and she used to charge $50 a session. So she's earning $3.5 grand a week from her home studio. And listen to this, her studio consisted of this. All she had obviously was underneath her home. She got a husband to build a chin-up bar underneath the home. She had a bench, she had a set of dumbbells, and that's all she had. So just with a bench and a set of adjustable dumbbells and a chin-up bar, you can do all the exercises you want just use your imagination. And people came to her not because she had all the fancy equipment, but she had a great personality and she's very motivating and inspiring. So you don't need a lot of equipment. You may want to go into a commercial studio, and that's fantastic. You want to take it up to the next level where you want to make it even more professional looking. I understand now you have to take in consideration rent. So a good commercial studio may be anywhere between, my first studio in itself was around about 80 square meters, and then I went to a smaller one which is around 60 square meters. Then I moved to another one which is 67 square meters, which is in the back end of a physiotherapy. So that was plenty for me, and I had 5-6 trainers working for me at that time through those studios. So I would say around about 100 square meters is a good space. I know Tommy Bellman, one of our graduates, who over time grew a business called Tom Fit, which is a big gym, but he started with a small studio. He actually started as a trainer, then a consultant, and did all the progressions, and then he opened up his first personal training studio called Tom Fit. They were doing over 200 sessions a week, and he had about 10 trainers working with him. And that's 100 square meters, and you're paying around about probably $25,000 a year rent, maybe $200 to $300 a square meter, depending on what you're going to charge and what your budgets are, which is another thing that we help our graduates with. So a commercial studio is great when you want to bring in trainers to work for you, whether they work for you at a subcontractor level, means they pay you a set amount, or they work for you on a casual wage or a full-time salary. And they're the numbers you may have to work out. So commercial studios, and who knows, that may grow into a bigger facility, like when Cleo and Greg, when they started. Cleo was a personal trainer in the gym, and she transitioned into a small personal training studio in Brisbane City. It's only 80 square meters. She had half a dozen trainers working for her, and they were doing over 100 sessions a week. But they outgrew that space, and they moved that into a small boutique gym, which I'll talk more about. So it's better to probably have a little bit less space and grow out of that area than try to have a massive space with a massive rent, and you have to try to cover the rent and try to fill the space up. I was a big believer in organic growth. That way you're not going to put yourself in too much of a situation where you can't cover the rent, or you're not making enough money, or a trainer leaves and all of a sudden the clients leave, and all those hassles that come with it. Now obviously you have the large commercial studio chains such as Vision Personal Training, but everything that is big once started small. Everything that is big started with an idea. Now Vision, they have over 60 personal training studios. But that started with one studio. Andrew himself is a trainer. He started as a sole trainer in a gym. Then he started to build a contract with that gym and provide all the personal trainers for that gym. So his Vision Personal Training was using someone else's facilities, and he provided and managed the trainers, and that facility just took a cut of the action. And that's one of the things I did in the early years. I actually did a contract with 5 of the international hotels on the Gold Coast, the Marriott Hotel, the Sheraton, the Hyatt, the Conrad, and I did an agreement with them where I would provide all the trainers. They'll be all professionally trained, they'll be insured, they'll be great trainers. You don't have to worry about, I do all the marketing, I look after everything, and all you do is receive the money, the percentage of the cut. And that was very appealing to them, because at that time they didn't want to run their own profit centre, their in-house personal training, because they just had these gyms and these hotels, but they let me use them, and before you know it, I had 10 trainers working for me, providing the services for all these international 5-star hotels, and that's where I started. From that, I moved into a personal training studio of my own, because that's when I said I wanted to control my own space. So Andrew started with his first personal training studio in Caringbah. He actually built that up to over 800 sessions a week in personal training, and then he had the idea of actually franchising. And that's another option that you could consider. You build your own personal training studio where you control everything, depending on where you want to take it. For example, Adam Wiseman, who's that 17-year-old surfer, he built this amazing personal training studio called Essential Personal Training in Devonport in Tasmania. It's the most beautiful personal training studio I've ever seen. And it was custom built just for being a personal training studio. And he built that up to well over 200 sessions a week, and he had half a dozen trainers servicing him. It was a full-time facility. But he didn't go from a trainer into that. He started as a trainer, then he booked himself out. Then he got a little commercial site, him and his brother, and they built that up to well over 100 sessions a week. And then they outgrew that, and then they'll find they were very positive cash flow. Then they took that money and reinvested it, and then they moved into their ideal mega centre, Essential Personal Training, which has lots of space and it's very 5-star and a great experience. And now he has that. So, and he didn't have any ambition to take it any further. He didn't want to open up 2 or 3 or 4. He's actually moved on to the online space. We're developing an online fitness, so his training now can not just be local, he can go global, which I'll talk more about that because there are many graduates doing great things in that space, on the online space. But Andrew, he went down and franchised that to give opportunities for other trainers. And you may want to choose to do that. You may want to say, well, rather than me starting and going, learning all the lessons and spending all the money myself, what I would do is I'll actually buy a franchise. Might be a Vision Personal Training or something like that. And that way they give you all the systems and all the formulas and all the systems and all the training, how to build it. For example, one of our graduates, Dean Williams, he has 4 personal training studios now. He started as a trainer at Vision on a casual basis, and he ended up winning Personal Trainer of the Year, where he was averaging training over 120 people a week as a personal trainer, and that really taught him lots of lessons about the Vision culture and how to build a successful Vision studio. And then his next step was there, he bought his own studio, and he went in partnership with a partner, to relieve the finances, but they had common thought and common values to do that. And now he's over here in New Zealand, and he has 4 personal training studios and some great trainers working for him, and he provides that little career path for his trainers where they can take a shareholding in a new studio. And now his goal is to have 25 personal training studios, Vision personal training studios, within the Vision network. So that's another option. There's plenty of options out there when it comes to franchising as well. Or you want to build your own personal training studio, and then you control everything. And if you want to maybe open 2. When I had my studio, I built that up to 4 personal training studios. I had 2 on the Gold Coast, 2 in Brisbane, and that was plenty for me. I didn't necessarily have the ambition to do what Andrew do, because that's not the path I chose for myself. And you can choose your own path. Make sure it's your path and you're not just following a path because there's just a path there. A couple of our very, very early graduates from the early 90s were some of the pioneers in the profession, where they opened up their own studios. Amanda Clarkson came into the program. She's never actually been to a gym before, but she always wanted to have her own personal training studio, being her own boss. So she opened up Raw Personal Training, and she built that up to close to 200 sessions a week. This is back in the early 90s, and had trainers working for her, and she actually ended up selling the business for a couple $100,000 back in the 90s. So it's amazing what you can do being one of the pioneers, where you can build a business, you follow the formula, you have your own studio, commercial studio on the beach doing what you love. Another one of our early graduates, Adam, he used to be working the casino, and then he opened up his own business called Exclusively You Personal Training, and he had multiple personal training studios with people working for him. So going from the environment of the casino and the gambling, now he's in a very healthy environment, helping people to be fit, healthy and strong, doing what he absolutely loves, being his own boss, having people work for him or work with him while he's living the dream. A couple of our graduates also connected their personal training studios to their home. So basically what it was underneath was a personal training studio, and on top was an apartment, and they're custom-made real estate buildings which are designed for that, where you design for people who want to live at home but also have their business at home. So Ross the boss, for example, he bought his home, and underneath had his personal training studio, and his family lived upstairs in a proper home. So how convenient is that, where you can be at home, have your family upstairs and your personal training studio downstairs. Very successful business. And then we also have people like Sally who did the same. She had a home upstairs and she had a studio downstairs, which is a great lifestyle business where you can connect your life and your home with your business without having them 2 separate apart. You have to make sure though that you make sure that one doesn't interfere with the other, because they're so close, but it's very convenient and it's a great little home business while living at home, while helping people achieve their health and fitness goals. Another progression from owning a commercial personal training studio is that you may want to grow it into a small fitness centre. For example, you may want to grow it where you have a bit of a membership base to it as well providing personal training services. For example, I use G and Cleo, who had an 80 square metre personal training studio. They outgrew that. So they grew that into a boutique, high service gym called Olympia Body Transformation Sanctuary. And with that, it was around about 400, just under 400 square meters. Now, normally in a normal high service gym, you can get about 1 member per square meter. In a low service gym, you can probably get more members because more people don't come. They pay the low price but don't come. But in a high service, they're going to pay a bit more of a premium price, but they're more likely to come. So Olympia built up to around about 400 members, and they increased their price over time to charge around about $50 a week membership. But those are high service, small, boutique, everyone knows your name, high value type operation in the Brisbane city. And on top of that, they're doing over 300 personal training sessions a week. So already they're approaching a multi-million-dollar business just in that small area, but really high service. Now they've grown from there on to build it into a big commercial gym. However, they kept that small feel about it, the high service, and they grew into a 700 square meter facility, 2-level, and they've just recently expanded that into 1,000 square meter where they put another floor in, all covering boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai kickboxing classes. So they still maintain that space, high service, premium membership, lots of things that you get for your membership, and that can grow up to accommodate for 1,000 members or so at over $50 a session or $50 a week as a membership. Plus on top of that, you whack on 400 personal training sessions a week, and you got a great gym, high service. And that's more of a premium size gym, and you're able to build it into, depending how big you want to get it, based on your values and your purpose and obviously your end game. There are gyms where they have less service, lower price, higher turnover. So you have the chains such as the Jets and the Anytime Fitness and the Snap Fitnesses, where they're around 300-400 square meters. They're low price, easy entry, virtually no service attached to it, no promises. You get low price, you use the facilities at will, you have access to 24/7, and if you come, you come, if you don't, you don't. It's not a lot of money, but they have high membership, therefore high membership, smaller yield, still good profit, but a lot of that membership won't be coming because if all the members came, they probably wouldn't be able to fit them into that 300-400 square meters, and that's okay. There's nothing right or wrong about this. That's just a different business model for someone who wants to build a business which provides a service for the community, and but they use as they wish, and they don't expect a high amount of service. It's like buying cars, isn't it? Some cars that are cheap and some are high price, but you expect a lot for the high price and the cheap ones. And there's nothing wrong with that. Some people want the cheap car, some want the high price car. Some people want the basic, some wants the premium. And depending on what you want to build and how you build it. Tommy, I mentioned before, he grew from a personal trainer to a little studio, and then he moved that into TomFit, which is a gym, and he has around 600-700 square meters, accommodating for 600-700 members, and he built that into TomFit. He has about 20 personal trainers working for him, which is a profit center on top of that, and he grew that into, and it's named after him, TomFit, because he is very personal for him, and he wanted to make sure that it was a very friendly, very connected, everyone knows your name type of gym, more of a community gym, and that's what he built. But he's moved on from that, he sold that, and now he's moved on to more in the online space and more the wellness coaching, which we'll talk more about. So there's them. For example, one of our girls, Ed, he was in the corporate world, who got made redundant, and he always wanted to have his own gym, his own space. So now he's got this great little gym called Champs Fitness, and it's more of a family gym. His son works in it with him, and he's looking at maybe going into a second gym or a third. But at the moment, he's quite comfortable. And it's a very community gym. You walk in, you get to meet the owner, everyone knows each other's name. So they're those type of gyms which they're small and they're very personal. I call them boutique premium gyms. You can also have small, which are more low price, high turnover, less service, like the Jets or the Anytime Fitness. They can grow into the big gyms, such as Les Mills, which has its own culture, or the Fitness First, which they have multiple gyms, not just through the country, but throughout the world, depending on. But everything big like that started small. A chain of 400 gyms started with one gym, and even before that, it started with a person with an idea. So you can just organically grow your career and business to where you want to go. That you don't have to make those decisions now. You can just keep growing into the next level to the next level. And that next level might be more gyms or franchising, or just might be more quality and more value within the one, and really make it very boutique and very personal. And that's completely up to you, depending on where you want to take it. You can also, build it the way you want to build it based on what's important to you. One of our graduates, Estelle, she's a multiple world Taekwondo champion, and she's a national Muay Thai kickboxing champion, and she also loves fitness. So she started, when she graduated from Mac, she started working as a personal trainer in a Jets gym. She worked her way up to management, became the manager of the gym, but her dream was always to own her own gym with her partner, Kane. So we helped her open up her first gym called Bout Fitness, and she always wanted to combine functional fitness with fighting and combat sports and kicking and punching, and with the fitness. So she's built Bout Fitness, which is more of a boutique, very high service, but it has a different style. It's not like a conventional gym where you have lots of weight training and that. It's more ropes and boxing bags and pads and drills and all sorts of stuff, where it's more functional, but it's a really fight scene. So that's what it's called. Bout means a bout of boxing. And they built that within 1 year. That was full. They had over 200 members. That's the capacity they could have. It's more of an industrial type look about it, a good, earthy feel about it. Now they've opened up a second gym in Papamoa. That first one's in Tauranga, and they're building that as well. So then you have a gym with a different feel, a different theme, a different culture, and that culture might be, hers is, the fighting and functional. And there are gyms out there which are like that, like the CrossFits and the F45s, which they're not very traditional, conventional gyms. They have their own theme, their USP, they use their function, and you can do that, whether it be combining that with Pilates or yoga or functional movements, and you can build your own empire, you can build your own palace based on what's really important to you. So I guess what I'm sharing with you is that there's so many opportunities out there. You can follow other people's paths, you can buy other people's dream, or you can create your own dream based on your values and what you want to do and where you want to take it. And who knows where that will go? You never know. You might end up owning a chain of gyms with 500 gyms around the world, like Patch Evans, or you might just have one magnificent gym like Olympia where everyone wants to go to because it's just one, but it's just like amazing experience when you go there. So there's plenty of opportunities in gyms. Everything that is big starts small, and you can just organically grow your way up there. And then other people don't want to have any hassle of any physical location or physical staff or anything like that. So they're going onto the online space, and that's a great opportunity these days. Where a lot of people now go in the online space and they become fitness coaches, health coaches, wellness coaches online, and we have numerous graduates who've done that. For example, Tommy, who had TomFit, he sold that. Now he has a program, a men's health wellness program called Mantastic, and basically it's an online program. It's a fantastic program. It's full of personal development, professional development, and fitness and financial guidance and career guidance. And it really gets you. It's for men who want to get their mojo back. And it's a man's program. You can get your mojo, and basically it's all done online. But he does run workshops in different cities around the world, and all the men come together. They have their man groups, and they do the little presentations. And they all connect and do all that bit like in a man cave, and that's a very profitable online business. One of our graduates, West, he has an online business. He travels the world. There's no geographical limitation. He can be anywhere in the world, and he sells health products. Now, he was a very successful personal trainer, but he realised that he didn't want to be confined. So his value is about freedom. He wants to move, doesn't want to be tied down. So he has an online business where he can go anywhere in the world. It doesn't matter where you are. And we have many graduates who are now transitioning to that online space, to being online fitness coaches, personal trainers. I know I mentioned before Sheena Jane, when she went to America to compete in the bodybuilding in the Olympia, she took her business online, Sheena Jane Fitness online, and she was coaching people all over the world. So you don't have to be constricted to local. You can actually go global on the online space and not have to be confined or restricted anywhere. You can be anywhere in the world to do that. You don't necessarily always have to restrict yourself to fitness, where you can grow into other areas and add in onto the fitness or fitness onto it. So many of our graduates now move into that wellness space, or wellness coaching, life coaching, lifestyle coaching, success coaching. Tommy did that. He did that online with Mantastic. Other graduates of ours have gone into that space where they maybe have health retreats where people come to you. One of our graduates, Adam, he started as a very successful personal trainer, training over 40 people a week. He went back to Liverpool, opened up Ace Fitness, which is a studio, and he ran that for a number of years, and now he's in Thailand and he runs these wellness retreats that people come to, and they get their life back, and they do a bit of yoga and training and exercise, meditation, education, and all sorts of stuff. So you can go down and build health retreats, or you can become a health coach, wellness coach, lifestyle coach. Chentor, I mentioned previously, he was a very successful trainer in a gym at Club Physical, and he's now moved on to help other people build their own success. He has his own business in personal and professional development. People join him and they join a membership, and he coaches them in their life and in their career, and to make them as successful as they possibly can. Geechin, one of our other graduates, he started being a trainer in a gym, was very great, very successful with that. Now he's moved on to his own space where he has his own facility in Auckland City, and he looks after, he takes about 12 people at a time where he coaches them, and he coaches them basically into a better life. And a big part of that obviously is fitness and health and wellness, but he also covers the other areas about goal setting and communication and career and wealth creation, all those areas as well. So there's so much opportunity in health coaching and wellness coaching and life coaching, and you use fitness as your main vehicle to get there, but then you can add other things onto it. I mentioned before Gagan, he now has a full-time job as a corporate wellness coach in an emerging company, but he started off as a trainer. So there's not just opportunities in the lane of fitness and health and training, but there's also, you can expand those lanes into and add other lanes into overall wellness and life coaching and success coaching, and the only limitation is your imagination. So I certainly hope that this has opened up your eyes and opened up your mind to all the future possibilities and opportunities and new ideas, because the world is changing, and with the change comes more ideas. Who would have thought, when I started as a gym instructor, part-time gym instructor, then I became a full-time gym instructor, and then from there I learned how to do group exercise classes and started doing that, and then I progressed into becoming a strength and conditioning coach for elite athletes, then a personal trainer, then owning a studio, then multiple studios. And then down the track, you can actually, if you build up enough experience and enough knowledge and enough skills, then you can even go and become what we used to call in the 80s a consultant, but someone who helps other people achieve goals. And a lot of our graduates go into sales training or management training and stuff like that, and they become consultants, and they go and help other people build businesses. And they go and help other people, get an idea from the idea phase into the launch phase into the mature business phase. So you can even, once you gather that experience, you can use that. One of the things Rory and I did in the 90s is that because I was very successful running personal training studios, she was very successful in managing gyms and implementing personal training systems in gyms. We set up a business called Systemized Personal Training. We used to go and consult to over 150 gyms throughout Australia and New Zealand, and we showed them how to set up a successful in-house personal training system in their gym that's going to be very, very profitable, and while you also control the standards and the quality, and they put in the appropriate systems. So it's amazing where life can go, but who would have thought when I first became a trainer that this personal training was an idea. I was one of the first to do it in Australia. I went over to America and saw it over there and says, okay, if it works there, it's going to work here. But someone had to get the ball up and going for people to believe that it would work. Now it's a multi-billion dollar industry and businesses. It's so big. And who knows in the future, now we're going down the space of, we're all being exposed to the online space with technology. So now with all the different technological devices and skills and all the stuff we have, we can actually coach people all over the world. I train people. I have an online business called Fight Fit with the Kman, and I train people from all over the world through the online space. So that's even making my business global, and it can do with yours. So I hope this has opened up your mind and given you lots of ideas. And obviously, any idea stuck in the mind is a wasted idea. You want to put it into action, and who knows, as you move through your life, the more you do, the more you see, the more you do, the more you see. If the more you go down your path, the more you see the new ideas to grow into a very successful, happy, and very fulfilling career. So as you can see, this profession is full of massive opportunities, and new opportunities are coming along consistently as the market grows and the profession grows. So you just have to decide, what do you want to do that's going to be aligned with your values, your purpose, and the life that you want to live, achieving what you want to achieve. What's important is to understand all the people that I mentioned in this session, all of them came to Max, and they were people who were in jobs they didn't like, whether they be working in factories, whether they be lawyers, whether they be accountants, whether they be in the corporate world, or whether they be labourers, or whether they be unemployed. They just weren't happy, they weren't being fulfilled with what they were doing at that time, and they had this passion, they had this calling, they had this love in them of fitness and health and well-being, and they wanted to go and turn that into a career and help other people live a healthy, well, happy life. And they came here and they got educated, they got motivated, but most importantly, once they achieved all of that, then they went and took lots of action to build their dream life, their dream career, and their dream business. So if they can do it, coming from humble beginnings to achieve extraordinary success, why can't you? All you need to do is to believe, take action, and you will achieve.